All right, on to the not so happy news, the stark reality. Moving on to 5-year forecasts. It is a stark reality that Ohio is just built on going back to the voters every so often to fund its schools. And thanks to all the work that Scott and his group and numerous superintendents and treasurers have done throughout the year, it gets a little bit better, but still they expect school districts like us. They expect a community that has a higher wealth, which is in terms of income and property values. They expect them to shoulder more of the burden in educating their students. Well, as we all know, people of our community already pay more state income taxes that is going to the state, which is what's funding the state share, but our people are sending more up and it's going other places. And I think that, again, that's something both Scott and I could talk about for hours. But anyhow, if you clicked on the top one, that's the one-page explanation there. You can see the blue bar's revenues, black bar's expenditures, and you pass a levy, your revenues are over your expenditures, and then, because once that levy brings in its new revenue, then it's stagnant. It does not grow with inflation. However, the expenditures do. So eventually the black bar, which is expenditures, begins to take over the revenues. So expenditures are exceeding revenues. And what you see is the green bar, what happens to cash balance when expenditures start to exceed revenues. And when looking at this, the district has a cash reserve policy. That policy is they would like to keep in our cash reserves 10% of revenues. To be honest with you, that's not an exceedingly high policy. As a matter of fact, it's average to low. If you look at some of the government groups out there, the Government Finance Officers Association, the Ohio Association of School Business Officials, a lot of times they recommend that you have at the end of the year 2 months worth of expenditures. So, but our cash policy is fine. I just want to point out that it is not by any case exorbitant. But by looking at our forecast now, it shows that given current spending patterns, given revenues coming in as forecasted, the district, in order to continue this, our current level of spending would probably need to seek a levy in fiscal year 2023. In order, once levies passed in 1 year, start the following calendar year. So it doesn't matter if the levies pass in a March, May, August, November election. The first time you see revenues are in January of the next year. So that's how it happens. And the problem is the property tax levy and collection year is a calendar year. We present our 5-year forecast and everything on a fiscal year. So we're 6 months off on timing there. So what happens in a levy, your first fiscal year just shows half of the new collections. And then the next year shows a full year's of collections, which is one of the things that causes those revenue bars to look like they're really jumping in those years. And then they look So that said, I don't know if there's any questions, and I'm way over my time.
You're not over your time. Our group is over its time. Sorry.
So,